The first time I saw a human warship, I laughed so hard my respirator malfunctioned. There I was, Commander Vrell of the Kaltharian Imperial Fleet, sitting in my command chair aboard the flagship Eternal Dominion, reviewing what our scouts had detected near the Sol system. The report landed on my tactical display with all the weight of a feather hitting titanium plating. One vessel. Singular. The humans had sent exactly one ship to face our entire armada. "Sir, they are hailing us," my communications officer, Thorax, announced. His mandibles clicked nervously, which I found ridiculous. We had 300 warships. They had one glorified cargo hauler. "Put them through," I said, trying not to chuckle. "Let us hear what these primitives have to say before we vaporize them." The view screen flickered to life, revealing a human female with hair the color of rust and eyes that reminded me of frozen methane lakes. She wore a simple gray uniform with absolutely zero decorative medals or ribbons. How embarrassingly humble. "This is Captain Mira Okonkwo of the UHSV Phantom Gate," she said, her voice carrying an odd mixture of boredom and amusement. "You are entering protected space. Turn around now, and we will forget this unfortunate misunderstanding." I erupted into laughter again. My entire bridge crew joined in, creating a cacophony of clicks, hisses, and guttural sounds that probably terrified the monitoring equipment. "Captain Okonkwo," I managed between gasps, "do you have any idea who you are addressing?" "I command the 3rd Imperial Conquest Fleet. We have conquered 47 star systems. Your tiny world will be number 48, and frankly, I am insulted they sent someone of such low rank to delay the inevitable." She smiled then. Not a nervous smile. Not a desperate smile. The kind of smile a predator wears right before it strikes. "Low rank? Oh, Vrell, you sweet summer alien. I am not here to delay anything. I am here to end this." The communication cut off before I could respond. Thorax looked at me with his primary eyes while his secondary eyes monitored the tactical display. "Sir, their vessel is not powering weapons. Should we fire?" "No," I said, leaning forward. Something felt wrong. Humans were supposed to be clever, yes, but suicidal bravado served no tactical purpose. "Wait. Let us see what trick they think they have." The human ship just floated there, silent and still, looking like nothing more threatening than a transit vessel you would use to haul mining equipment between moons. No visible weapons. No shield emissions that our sensors could detect. Nothing. "Scanning shows standard hull composition," my science officer reported. "No unusual energy signatures. Their reactor output is actually quite low for a ship that size. Sir, I think they legitimately sent a cargo transport to fight us." More laughter rippled through the bridge. This was going to be the easiest conquest in Imperial history. Then the Phantom Gate opened. I do not mean it opened a communication channel or activated some conventional weapons system. I mean reality itself opened like someone had grabbed the fabric of space and ripped it apart with their bare hands. The human ship split down the middle, each half peeling away like the skin of some mechanical fruit, and what emerged made every single alarm on my ship scream in unison. The vessel that had been hiding inside was... I still struggle to find words. It was massive. It was impossible. Our largest dreadnought could have fit inside its hangar bay with room left over for a light cruiser or 5. The hull was not painted or decorated. It was black, but not the black of paint or metal. It was the black of nothing, of void, of the space between stars given physical form. "Weapons lock." Thorax shrieked. "Sir, we have multiple weapons lock. Hundreds of targeting solutions. Thousands. Evasive maneuvers." I shouted, but it was already too late. The human supercarrier, because that was clearly what this monstrosity was, did not fire conventional weapons. Instead, thousands of smaller craft poured from its flanks like angry insects from a disturbed nest. They moved faster than anything our sensors said was physically possible. They ignored our point defense systems. They slipped through our formation like water through a broken dam. Return fire. All ships, focus on that carrier. I ordered, feeling panic claw at my throat for the first time in my military career. We fired everything. Plasma torpedoes. Rail cannon slugs. Fusion missiles. Energy beams that could cut through asteroids like they were fog. Our entire fleet unleashed enough destructive force to crack a planet's crust. The carrier did not even slow down. Its shields, if it had shields, did not flicker. Our weapons simply vanished before impact, absorbed or deflected or destroyed by systems we could not even detect, let alone understand. Meanwhile, those fighter craft, those tiny impossible things, began systematically dismantling my fleet. Not destroying it outright. No, that would have been merciful. They targeted engines first, leaving ships dead in space. Then weapons systems. Then life support on military vessels, carefully avoiding any ship that appeared to be civilian support. Sir. Thorax turned to me, all four of his eyes wide with terror. They are not trying to kill us. They are trying to capture us. He was right. In less than 10 minutes, the humans had reduced the pride of the Kaltharian Empire to floating debris and disabled hulks. Not a single ship had been completely destroyed. Not a single crew member had died, as far as our readings showed. Then the communication channel opened again, uninvited. Captain Okonkwo appeared on screen, still wearing that predator smile. Commander Vrell, she said pleasantly, I hope you are beginning to understand the situation. That was your demonstration. Your warning. The Phantom Gate is one of 7 supercarriers humanity keeps hidden throughout the galaxy. We do not advertise our strength because we prefer not to use it. But make no mistake, we have been watching your empire's expansion with growing concern. I could not speak. My vocal organs had apparently forgotten their function. Here is what happens next, Mira continued. Here is what happens next, Mira continued, her voice cutting through the silence on my bridge like a thermal blade through flesh. You will transmit a message to your emperor. You will tell him that humanity is declaring a protection zone around every system your empire has targeted for conquest. You will tell him that we have been holding back, not because we are weak, but because we genuinely hoped you would stop on your own. I finally found my voice, though it came out as barely more than a whisper. The Emperor will never accept this humiliation. He will send everything. Our entire armada. Thousands of ships. Mira's smile widened. Good. We have been looking for an excuse to demonstrate what happens when you really make us angry. Your 300 ships were just a warm-up exercise for our pilots. Most of them are still in training, actually. Commander Vrell, do you know what we call this carrier? I shook my head, unable to form words. Phantom Gate. It appears, completes its mission, and vanishes. Your scouts will search for months and never find where we dock it. Your intelligence officers will lose sleep wondering how many more we have hidden in plain sight. Some are disguised as mining stations. Others as merchant vessels. One is literally hollowed out inside an asteroid that moves between systems. We have turned stealth into an art form while your empire was busy painting targets on your hull plating and announcing your presence like some sort of cosmic parade. Thorax made a sound that I had never heard before. It took me a moment to realize he was whimpering. This is impossible, I said, grasping for any logical explanation. Our intelligence networks are the finest in the galaxy. How did we not know about these vessels? How did we miss this? Because you were not looking, another voice said, and a second human appeared on screen next to Mira. This one was male, older, with skin dark as space itself and eyes that held the weight of countless battles. I am Admiral Marcus Webb, Commander of Human Defense Initiative. We have been manufacturing these carriers for 70 years, Commander. 70 years of preparation while your empire assumed we were just another primitive species playing with fusion drives and kinetic weapons. He gestured, and tactical data began flooding my display. Schematics. Production facilities. Defensive networks. Resource allocations. Every piece of information showed a military-industrial complex that dwarfed anything the Empire possessed. Impossible, I repeated, but the word sounded hollow even to my own ears. The evidence was right there, undeniable and terrifying. You keep using that word, Mira said, her amusement evident. I do not think it means what you think it means. Humans have a saying, Commander. We are very good at two things. Making friends and making war. Your empire never gave us a chance to be friends, so we prepared for the alternative. One of my tactical officers, a young Kaltharian named Prex, spoke up suddenly. Sir. The fighter craft are returning to the carrier. They are breaking off. I watched the display as those impossible vessels retreated, flowing back into the Phantom Gate like a reverse explosion. Within minutes, every single fighter had disappeared back into that black hull. Then, slowly, deliberately, the outer shell began closing again. The two halves of the false cargo ship moved back into position, sealing shut until once more it looked like nothing more threatening than a transport hauler. We are leaving now, Mira announced. Your ships are disabled but intact. Your crews are alive. We have transmitted repair protocols to your engineering teams. You should have basic mobility restored within 6 hours. Full functionality within 2 days. Consider this a courtesy. Wait. I shouted, finding some fragment of courage or perhaps just desperation. Why? Why disable us instead of destroying us? Why show mercy to an enemy? Mira's expression softened slightly, and for the first time I saw something other than predatory confidence. I saw sadness. Because, Vrell, we remember what it is like to be afraid. We remember wars on our own world, conflicts that nearly destroyed us. We learned, eventually, that strength without compassion creates nothing but enemies. We want you to go back and tell your emperor that humanity offers a choice. Peace or consequences. Trade or conflict. We genuinely hope he chooses wisely. The communication ended. The Phantom Gate began moving, slowly at first, then accelerating to speeds that should have torn the vessel apart. Within seconds, it had vanished from our sensors entirely, leaving behind 300 disabled warships and one very shaken Kaltharian commander. The journey back to the Imperial homeworld took 3 weeks. 3 weeks of silence from my crew. 3 weeks of reviewing tactical data that made no sense. 3 weeks of composing a report that I knew would either save the Empire or end my career. When I finally stood before Emperor Zarvok the Infinite, surrounded by his court of advisors and generals, I delivered my account with as much dignity as I could gather. I showed them the recordings. The tactical analysis. The undeniable proof that humanity was not just another conquest waiting to happen. The throne room fell silent when the recordings ended. Emperor Zarvok, who had ruled for 3 centuries and conquered countless worlds, looked at me with eyes that held something I had never seen before. Uncertainty. One ship did this, he asked quietly. One ship, my emperor. And they claim to have 6 more. Claims can be fabricated. Yes, my emperor. But I do not believe they were lying. The technology we witnessed, the precision, the restraint even in overwhelming victory. These are not the actions of a species bluffing. A general to my left, old Carthan with his scarred carapace and missing antenna, spoke up. Then we send everything. We crush them before they can deploy more of these carriers. I turned to him, surprising myself with my own boldness. And if they are telling the truth, General? If they have been preparing for 70 years while we assumed them primitive? How many soldiers are you willing to sacrifice to test that theory? The throne room erupted in argument. Some demanded immediate retaliation. Others counseled caution. I stood silently, remembering Captain Mira Okonkwo's smile, remembering the casual efficiency with which they had dismantled our fleet, remembering the mercy they showed when they could have just as easily shown none. Finally, Emperor Zarvok raised one clawed hand, and silence fell instantly. "Commander Vrell," he said, his voice carrying across the vast chamber, "you have given us much to consider. We will discuss this matter further. You are dismissed." As I left the throne room, I glanced back once. The Emperor was staring at the frozen image of the Phantom Gate on the main display, his expression unreadable. I do not know what decision he will make. I do not know if the Empire will choose peace or war. But I know one thing with absolute certainty. If we choose war, if we force humanity to deploy all 7 of those carriers, the Kaltharian Empire will learn a very painful lesson about the difference between strength and power. Humanity was not hiding because they were weak. They were hiding because they were kind. And I pray to the void that my Emperor is smart enough to recognize the difference. Friends, if you are enjoying our videos and want to watch new and exciting sci-fi and HFY stories every day, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to turn on the bell icon so you never miss any of our latest uploads. Like the video and share it with your friends as well, so our community can continue to grow and bring you even more amazing content.